miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. A brand new house along the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new tin that baby built on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, baby, and tell me who do you love? Who do you love? Now around the town, they use a rattlesnake whip. Take it easy, baby, don't you give me no lip. Who do you love? Who do you love? I got a tombstone hand, a graveyard mind. I'm just 22 and I don't mind dying. Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Oh, who do you love? Took her out by my hand. She said, Lonesome George, you don't understand. Who do you love? The night was dark and the sky was blue. Down the alleyway I swag and flew. Hit off bump and somebody scream. You should have heard just what I seen. Who do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Oh, who do you love? Stone hand, a graveyard mind. Just 22, baby, I don't mind dying. Snakeskin shoes, baby, put them on your feet. Got the good time music with the boogie beat. Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love? I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. Brand new house along the roadside. It's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new chin, the mama bit on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, child. Tell me who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love?
Busting your communist chin with the roundhouse of freedom. It's post-politics. Wednesday night. J-Rev Radio, Raz Radio Live, Salty Talk Radio, Radio Chaos, and IPMNation.com. And possibly the YouTubes. How we looking, bud?
Good, man. We're good. I just had to turn down my headphones and...
Turn my headphones up!
Nah, if I turn them up, they can hear you recycling through my microphone. So
I hear you. So we're both clear on the YouTubes. We're both.
Yeah.
You can see me and all that good shit.
Yeah, they can see the both of us.
Good deal. Well, it is a Houston Wednesday. I know it don't rhyme, but that's just what it is, bitches.
We all H-Town Wednesday. That's all right.
So I got stuff from all walks of life. I had to cancel out one of my rap songs just because that's all Zach fucking picked.
Of course.
Of Houston stuff.
Of course.
So, I had to cancel out one of my rap songs, but we do have a plethora of different types of music from the Houston area tonight. So yeah, Yippee Yo #1. And here we are. Opening monologue. Fucking my dog is I want to punch her in the neck sometimes, man.
Dude.
We got this
neck punches aren't embraced enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it means less. Like my girl, she's got like a deer neck though. You know what I mean? Like that mother strong. You know what I mean? But no, man, when we get these storms and shit, and from time to time, thank God I found it out there. She might be fucking dead if I hadn't found it. Either that or just tripping her balls off. But these fucking toads, you know, and then so she does it and like she's, you know, kind of gags as soon as she gets a taste for it. She'll put it in.
The mouth starts frothing up.
Yeah, so she'll froth up and go eat, you know, drink water and whatever. But I'm like, you fucking idiot, you know. So I'm running around while we're playing fucking Thorogood, trying to scoop up this goddamn frog to get it out the porch, you know. Just pain in the ass. But yeah, I got a tetanus shot today too, just because I know I hadn't had one since I'd probably been in like my late teens or early 20s, from that gimmick I told you about when I fucked myself up on the boat, which is like getting to be bruised now. So it's like all fucking gnarly, like around my nipple. Looked like somebody punched my nipple to death, like all around it with a gash right above it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's looking pretty gnarly, but it's all good. I was just, you know, it's not looking, it's healing up nicely, I guess, for something that deep for the time that it's taken. But
Looks like somebody ripped a nipple ring off of you.
No, not quite. You know, it's just above it. So,
yeah.
But
any nipple damage always reminds me of Airheads.
Every single time, man, that will forever, long before I ever had nipple rings, which I was 15. So I've had these for what, 18?
Quite some time, yeah.
18 years now. Most of my life I've had these nipple rings. And I'll fucking just never forget Chris Farley pulling out that fucking nipple ring of that guy. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Chunk style? Improvise.
Dude, it's like, oh man, yeah. That's like the only time that Chris Farley ever was a hard ass too, and he did it well.
He also, I think probably one of the other roles that was a very minor role. He might have had probably a bigger role in Airheads than he did. Yeah, definitely. And in Wayne's World, he played the security guard.
You're right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So he just had that.
He's done 2 security guard roles. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite, or maybe backstage at the fucking thing at Black Sheep where he pretended to play a security guard.
Yeah, that was great.
I know all of these lines. Like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
that's where
against the man, dude. He fucking, oh my god, it's so good.
No, I mean backstage where he's like, "Why don't you go tell that to the wives and children over there, asshole?" And he's like, "Young man, I'm gonna twist off your head and strike it onto the floors of a nightmare you can't even imagine." You know, like
Bill Whitey. Yeah.
That's how I got laughs as a kid, was like reciting shit from like SNL and like Chris Farley stuff.
Yeah.
I was never a fat kid, but I loved Chris Farley's cadence so fucking much that I was always good at like remembering those types of things, like line for line, you know, which, like I said, pulls into like the history and dates, and you know that's why I'm good with that shit too.
Yeah.
I can just recite that shit like that. But yeah, that was like my first like getting laughs was doing like Billy Madison at the lunch table, and you know what I mean, like all of the things that were like 5th grade, like 4th, 5th grade, you know, coming out. But yeah, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, my favorite line before we let it go, Airheads was when Kramer, fucking Michael Richards, was in the movie, and he's up in the air ducts, and they gave him an Uzi through the top vent, and he fucking was holding the gun, and it dropped and started shooting out the glass and everything everywhere, and there's a crowd of people outside, not to mention the people inside, while they're holding up the radio station. And Chris Farley hits the deck, and it's very stiff moves that he does, but he hits the deck and he goes, "God help us all!" And jumps up onto his feet and just like jerks his head back and stands up straight and then walks on. But he goes, "God help us all!"
That's, oh man, I miss all of those movies.
I
miss when Adam Sandler could drop a movie. Oh.
Right.
Now he does a movie every other week on.
I would say Mr. Deeds is probably the last one that was.
Mr. Deeds is probably the last.
What?
Dude, this is gonna.
Mr. Deeds came out after Big Daddy, right?
Yeah, it did. Or if it didn't, then Big Daddy was the.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, to tell you the truth, no, Click was probably the last.
But Click was a different.
It was a different sort of movie. It was but what I mean is like that's the last.
I'm down
the
with
last Adam Sandler movie that I was like, oh fuck. Now here's the thing: when I left Click, I was very mad at Adam Sandler.
Right.
Because I was like, fuck you. You didn't even give me warning. You know what I mean? Like you didn't even let me know that you were just about to take my out.
Well, quite honestly, that is like a movie trailer thing, because it was like, oh, Adam Sandler, you know this guy, and it showed like all the funny shit, like him whipping the fuck out of David Hasselhoff, and tell O'Doyle's mom that the kid's smoking cigarettes out here, or whatever, like all the fun.
Fucking Kate Beckinsale be hot, and fucking
right,
and fucking Adam Sandler do Adam Sandler.
Let's kick this off, because there are a handful.
Click is a great fucking movie, dude.
We're gonna hit the intro. Oh, absolutely. I know where at that.
Let me hit this real quick. Okay. I didn't get it.
Sure, man. Yeah.
So today I had fucking work. I thought that. All right, so let me tell you a little something. All right, it did not reduce the amount of money, and actually, they showed me the principal actually taking.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
to pay just to pay the interest on it. Right, I would have to pay $180. Break. That's now that's $108 top of what.
Right.
So then I was like, "Oh, we'll never." Going to pay. What ends up really screwing me up, what really bothered me, sort of pointed. So they say that they can put me on.
Right quick, you know what I say there? Guess what? You get zero money if I'm in fucking jail, and you know what the fuck I am. So don't be a dick. You know?
No, and here's the thing. I'm being real cool and
right.
Whole fucking time. I mean, like, hey, listen, I'm in here, shirt tucked in, college fucking thing.
Sure.
This ex-wife of mine right here knows that's not my fucking deal.
Right.
Looking presentable, and you've got me not work. So whatever.
Can we shave $100 off of this fucking?
You guys want to fucking? You know what I mean? You're gonna give me $100. Oh no! By the way, I have to pay $150 to just to the fucking
The
court.
mediator. Oh, the
mediator. The fucking mediator. Yep. I owe that bitch $150 for coming in and being a cunt. You know what I mean?
Forgot about the mediator.
Oh, dude, yeah. And here's the thing. So they tell you what the maximum they could do to you, and then when your ex-wife take the maximum, the mediator wife look at you, right?
Right.
Like, and that actually more than anything
Absolutely.
on, right?
Absolutely.
Like, wait a second. Oh, hold on. So you just said that you were going to put me on probation. Go ahead and put him. Which this probation is 120 months. I have to call every. Right?
It's 10 fucking years.
Yes, exactly. So on 120 fucking. Miss more than one payment, they will put a warrant out.
My dad had to do that. Never take that fucking deal. Don't sign any fucking thing. Trust me.
Here's the deal. They go ahead. They 120 months. Then they go. Oh, hold on. To decide coercive payment for you to get out. How much that's cost. And my attorney is like maybe 50. And they're like, well, look, we're thinking maybe like two. I was like, let me tell y'all right. This is when my ex.
Sure.
Point, I'm like, look, I go, listen, I can tell y'all right now.
My life, man.
Yeah,
you know,
I go,
hey, I got, you know.
Yeah, no, I just said, I was like, listen, here's the deal, dude. If you put me in, I'm not paying you. Want more than $1,500? I'll. Like, I'm sorry, dude. This is where I'm like, this is where I come to the point where I'm like, listen, I've already done prison. You want to keep me in fucking county jail? Then fucking put me in county jail. Giving you $1,500 for more than 15. They set it at 2,000. Set it at 2,000. Can only. I was like, well, you're gonna put me in jail for 6. I'm gonna lose. I mean, I'm still not getting. Just so you know.
Right.
And she's like, and my ex-wife is like, well, hey, I'm being very civil. I was like, hey, I don't care. No, I was like, I don't care about your civility.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't care about your civility. I was like, what y'all feel that y'all are making, that's fine, but understand, I'm not going to pay that. I'm not going to do county jail. So what's going to end up? You'll get a chance. And so
this sounds exactly like the deal my dad got himself into.
Well, there was no, and that was the thing, is that there was no other, like, I don't have another.
You know what my mother would, you know what my mom would do? Get him right around Christmas time, like 2 weeks before Christmas, because she knew that my fucking grandparents would bail him out so he wouldn't have to spend Christmas in jail. How fucking sick is that shit?
I'm telling you, man. The fact that I didn't even realize, like, I mean, look, I know the state absolutely, like, bends to the mother, but I didn't know that it give her the choice. Oh, how long probation? Reporting will, and it's like,
well, that's also because you're working against the state and your ex-wife. So your ex-wife can claim whatever and the state will back her up. Trust me, my dad's doing it to this day. I'm 33 fucking years old. Yeah. My dad is still paying my fucking mom for shit that they had a handshake agreement about us spending the summers with him. You know what I mean? Like, my mom and dad had a handshake agreement, and he's been having to pay since my daughter was born. It got brought back up. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude,
like, that's how long it's been. It's been almost 10 years now.
Oh,
you
dude,
know?
What's that wonderful office that you get to daughter? I was like, order that.
No, that's fucked up. I'd be like, look, I'll sign whatever, but we're gonna figure this shit out fucking today.
And they tell you,
I can't
So I
fuck.
talked to the dude.
No, child support court is fucking about your daughter. It's not about this bitch getting paid or me fucking paying motherfuckers. It's about people having 2 fucking parents, and Abby knows who her fucking dad is, and you need that shit. Nobody, I don't look, man. I got a deal. I've dealt with fucking fathers that don't want to have anything to do with their fucking kids. You know what I mean? And I got to take up the slack, and I get, don't get me wrong, motherfucker, I get really irate about that shit from time to time, because when I'm dealing with my wife or my ex-wife or this woman or that woman or whoever, I go, guess who gets away scot-free? And these are people that, you know, my wife and my ex-wife are like, you know, stay out of our lives. You know, like I don't want any money from you. I don't want fucking anything. I know that you don't care, right? You know, I know that you don't care. Nothing pisses off a fucking mother more than somebody that gives a shit that has to fucking battle that. Mothers hate that shit. They would rather have you out of their lives, but knowing you, knowing me, we're not that type of dudes. We're fucking, no, I want my fucking kids, man. Yeah. So when that, I'm sorry to be long-winded about that shit, but when that shit goes down, it's like, no, you fucked up, man. You know, you like this doesn't help your kid at all. Yeah. You know,
and you're not even trying for it to.
Take it from somebody who knows very, very well. Trust me when I tell you, it's not okay for these mothers to fucking do this because you've got some vindictive fucking thing against a guy that might be a shitty husband or partner or whatever, but is trying to fucking, you know, that garners his children's respect and loves their father, and they don't know why they can't see him. Part of it's because of you. I'm letting you know that, ladies.
And I'll tell you, those same women that do that, those are the same women that, oh, well, if your dad cared, he'd come see you.
Right.
While they sit and make it next to impossible.
Right.
Just fuck. It really is. But anyway, the guy that was at my little probation thing, he goes, no, actually, we're the office that deals with visitors. So if she's, and I was like, do what?
To help?
Yeah, I was like, wait, hold on a second. Are you serious?
Pay you the money instead?
And he goes, and he was like, yeah, man, he was, we'll do a free consult with you, and if the lawyer decides to attack you, to file her to put her in contempt of court for not allowing to visit.
10%.
It was like, it's only $50 to hire them. I was like, all right then. All right, well, give me the paperwork on that, sir. Thank you.
Dude, I will be like a big black woman and grab that 50 out of my between titty sweat. You understand what
I was so happy. I was like, oh man, thank you. And like, I mean, I literally had to look up at the sky and be like, thank you to the universe. Yeah.
You were like, oh, this is like, that's like the.
Oh, I looked up and thanked God on some like, hey, listen, I thought that little reminder you sent me to everything.
Right. Here's the fucked up part. Fucking lawyers and your ex-wife are fucking you, and the appeal is to the fucking probate cops that actually deal with that. I've had to, I hate it, but like the last time that I ever called the cops for anything was about, how long has it been? Maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, about 5 years ago, or a little bit. Yeah, about 5 years ago, when my ex-wife, like, I showed up to get my daughter, and like I was like, look, man, I brought the divorce paperwork and all that shit, and I'm like, and they still didn't help me, you know.
No, but that was my deal. That was the only time I think that's the only time in my was for me to be able to visit. Right. And you
can say what you want to, but it's like, look, man, as much as we preach philosophical wax and shit like that on here, this is the world we live in, and some things we got to exist within that world. I don't like it, and you don't like it.
No, look, dude, hey, if you're not gonna let me see my fucking daughter, and the only way to my daughter, calling the fucking cops. I don't.
Right. 110%.
Well, fuck it, dude. Let's hit that intro and fucking roll on to greener pastures.
All right. I guess so. I
mean,
yeah,
you know,
come back. Oh,
different pasture.
Shit. I say we skip the intro, play a break. We're damn near 30 minutes in, man.
Yeah,
we
we're
might
at 27.
Right. We might as well hit our fucking first break. So. All right, we're gonna play all music from Houston tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We got rock, we got punk, we got country, we got rap, we got all types of shit. So we'll be back, everybody. Stay tuned. Let's see. What do we got? I'm trying to get my timing right here. Yep. All right. All Houston.
Ew.
We'll be back, everybody. Stay tuned. More Post Politics coming up next.
What do you say when it's over? Don't know if I should say anything at all. One day we're rolling in the clover. Next thing you know, we take the fall. Still I think about the years since I first met you, and the way it might have been without you here. I don't know if words for me can still upset you, but I've just gotta make this memory stand clear. I know I'm leaving here a better man, knowing you this way. Things I couldn't do before, now I think I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Guess I always knew I couldn't hold you, but I'd never be the one to set you free. Just like some old nursery rhyme your mama told you, you still believe in some old meant to be. Still I'm leaving here a better man, knowing you this way. Things I couldn't do before, now I think I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Yes, I'm leaving here a better man, knowing you this way. Things I couldn't do before, now I know I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Yes, I'm leaving here a better man.
Slowly clothing, I'm banging screw. Coming down so dry, so believe so high. Slowly clothing, I'm banging screw. Slowly clothing, I'm banging screw.
What it do? It's power to the wild. Trunk up towel in the full screen spout. Spiders crowd, gon' turn up the dial, and the heads all gnawed like a bobblehead dog. Bending corners up and down wayside from Greens Road to that Antoine Drive. Crew on the side playing NBA Live. I'm too cool for school, riding on Buckeye. Turning heads when I'm on that sky. Hit that French just for a quick pit stop. Boys in the middle talking about they on top. 8 months later, all them boys flop. Like it or not, I'm in the game and I'm showing up. Key got that oil and we pouring up. Hit the club with Captain Jack and Big Steve representing my hood. I'm still throwing growing up. Big money in the game is the bread broke. Kenny old school drop top for the O. Boys used to be sleeping on me, but the champ is here, I guarantee that they ass woke. Riding on spoke, that's the elbow. Still rocking in the ice white shell toe. This for my boys by that Kelso, and you already know.
I got that trunk crack, windows tinted, trunk crack, windows tinted. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Coming down so high, smoking leaf so high. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw.
Yeah, I'm still on that 5'9", but might see me on the 5'8", coming down. All over the town, I like to get around, jamming my fat pet screwed up on the ground. Coming down in the lime green 88, while them boys on the sideline wanna hate. Bumper kid foul, fucking up the state plate. I must admit, my life's great. Seafares with me in the snow butter bench, looking through a Louis lens, and we stacking up ends. Bros over hoes, yeah, I'm talking about friends. Got freedom on my arm for my dog, little twin. Dub on the rim, that's TIS. Just like Pretty Todd, I'm G-Boy fresh. Got oil coming in, and it's straight from the west, and the grill gon' mess on the Cadillac Crest. Headed the best, I ain't messing with the rest. Santa Claus sled, that's pomegranate red. Sipping the taste, I take it straight to the head, and then switch house what I rep till I'm
I got
dead.
that trunk crack, windows tinted, trunk crack, windows tinted. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Coming down so high, smoking leaf so high. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw.
I'm tipping foes and I'm sipping foes and I'm flipping hoes with my partner crew. Posted up at that TSU or that Grand View with my partner Blue. Oh, boys get out of line to chop, trying to run up and take my slab. This one here for my boy Lil Key. I'm throwing the deuce up and giving boys dab. Pouring the juice up and flipping that ab. Waving hood soda base showcase. Setting the tree instead of chopping up wind with a diamond ice green that paper I chase. Taking fade by the bad boy shop. Tempo slow, I'm screwed up and chop. Listening to some of that Robert Earl or them chopaholics, maybe that Michael Watts. Chopping the block up, holding the boot up, breaking the strut, now I'm on new swing. Really want me pop trunk full of bang. I'm third coast grade and I'm tripping the stain. I'm hitting the stain, trying to break that bread. Slowing though till the day I'm deceased. Leaning tough, I got a cup full of stuff when it starts to crease in the Johnny Dang
I got
beast.
that trunk crack, windows tinted, trunk crack, windows tinted. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Coming down so high, smoking leaf so high. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw. Slow and grow that I'm banging screw.
All right, everybody, back at it. Oh yeah, you know what it is. Post Politics Wednesday night, J-Rev Radio, Raz Radio Live, Salty Talk Radio, Radio Chaos, IPM Nation, and our most excellent YouTube channel, Post Politics with Trip and Zach. Go look it up, favorite it, like it, hit that little bell. It'll fucking bling on your phone and let you know when we go live. And you can just
Subscription button.
yeah, if you got like a fucking 100 some odd, 100, 200 subscriptions on YouTube's like I do, fucking, unless you either frequent that shit or hit that notification bell, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I'd let that dog out. That fucking little yippity fucking, you hear that fucking click clack of those fucking little yippy dogs. But yeah. With the Houston shit. Fucking got some Clint Black. How long you
Dude, I like that.
son? And it kind of fit with what we were going into, and I
It
pulled it preemptively.
fucking wonderful. I actually
Well, do you want to?
finishing. Actually, the white guy that just whatever for.
Well, you're really leading off on a strong point.
Hold on, I'm gonna do it for you right now. Okay.
I
All
got
right,
it.
so this guy John Cowell who stabbed the black girl, stabbed two women in the arrested. And this. So people like to call that Look, dude. First of all, garbage.
Right.
Look, right from.
That's.
But here's my. Have to. A lot of times. They're in an area already.
Well, system.
They go to somebody, guy, run or whatever the fuck, looking for. One of those. Look, dude, going to those guys that are going for the guy at the mat. Those guys trained to take down difference in. They are going other people. Difference a beat guy.
Gotcha.
They handle things.
No, absolutely, and like for me, you know, like I watched that one. I forget the dude's name that got shot, but like the guy didn't have a gun, and then this cop. It later found out that it was like his first fucking day on the job, and the guy's like holding his hands up in the back seat of a car, and he fucking just opens fire and shoots, you know, and there's like 4 black guys in the car or whatever. And then it shows him like crying on the hood of the responder car that pulls up. And he's like, I thought he had a gun. And I'm like,
of course.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, man, being a fucking cop ain't for fucking everybody. It ain't for most people, if you want to even call that a fucking job, you know, or a welfare program or whatever. Like, it's not for because you think you're a badass, right? And it's like, I mean, I know it's been a long time since I said it, but it bears repeating. We've moved far away from Mayberry, folks, okay? You know? I mean, I get people are fucking dangerous out there, and yes, there are people that shoot at cops and whatever, but it's like, dude, grab a vest, and if somebody shoots at you, then, you know, that's one thing, but it's like, don't tell me. Guess what? If you just minded, we got this thing down here in Florida. I'm glad you brought that up. This the stand your ground thing. Did you see that? They got pushed because somebody was bitching at him about a handicap parking space.
No, I did not see that.
Bitching at somebody about a handicap parking space. I mean, it's a nationwide story, but I hear it especially.
I'm well out of the loop today.
You know, on local radio and national, I've heard this story get brought up, and it's just like this guy was bitching at somebody about being in a handicap parking space at like a fucking 7-Eleven. It's like at a gas station, and the dude ends up pushing the guy, and the guy fucking whips out and fucking blows him away, man. You know, and it's like, look, man,
the wrong one, son.
Right. I'm not saying, and the guy got pushed down on the ground, right? You know, now don't get me wrong. Like that's, you know.
I mean, did he just get pushed on the ground and then the guy was going to continue attacking him?
I don't know.
Or did he just get pushed on the ground and so his feelings were hurt and he shot a guy?
No, there's surveillance video of it, but it's like the way our stand your ground law, which is of course huge with the Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin trial when this first came to notoriety here, you know, but it's like, no, the guy was, you know, protecting property, like it, you know, but he was also like there's like a big whodunit about a public space and it being on private property at the gas station and stuff. But my thing is going like, hey, I hate to fucking play the ANCAP role on this, but guess what? Mind your own fucking business. Guess what? Here's this terrible liberal thing that is like everybody has to get in everybody's fucking face should they see something that they don't fucking deem okay, and getting irate and physical about it. It's like, dude, I saw that video the other day. I know it's a older video, probably during the campaign, but where like all of these people are like ripping the shirt, tearing the MAGA hat off of this dude, and it's like, that's a mob. That's like there's like 10 people like ripping your shirt, tearing your clothes off, and hitting you, blindsiding you while you're walking away, and it's like, that was the most nervous I got, because I'm like, there's like a mob of people that are actively hitting me, ripping my shirt and tearing my clothes and hats and shit off of me. If I was a concealed carry person, that's almost about the point where I'm just going to turn. I don't ever want to shoot anybody unless like I'm getting, beat half to death or somebody's coming in my house,
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do that, I don't ever want to take somebody's life. But the worst part is that I'm sitting here going, brandishing a weapon would be the smartest thing to do without having to kill anybody. That's the fucked up part about the law, where it's like, if you're a concealed carry member and you just back the fuck up. I don't want to fucking kill anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could save lives doing that, and people go, oh, shit just got real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bad part about the law is you have to kill these motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, hey, you fucked with the wrong one. I have to kill you now. In order for you to not be, sent off to jail just for fucking protecting your person.
Yeah.
That's the shitty part about these laws, these gun laws, where it's like, that's a mob and they wish to do you harm. Obviously, it's on fucking film. And in order for you to do anything about it, like, you have to shoot somebody,
Yeah.
You can't just brandish a weapon and go, back the fuck up. I'm not having it. Like I don't want to hurt anybody. You can't even like give a good humanitarian response to something like that, where it's like, I just let me go. You got the wrong one today, and I don't want to have to hurt anybody. Yeah. Just saying that and brandishing a weapon, well, guess what? That's you and I. That's fucking 5 years in jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to kill a motherfucker.
Yeah.
In order for them to go, well, we're not charging him because there was a mob and da-da-da-da, and hey, man, fucked with the wrong one.
Well,
but if you
it's fucked up. I mean, we had a guy here in Houston. I don't think it was actually Houston. I think it was like San Antonio or something. But a guy that, like, there was a fucking 15-year-old kid that had a fucking MAGA hat on, and an employee at Whataburger fucking walked up, grabbed his hat.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
his drink on him and shit. Yeah. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? I mean, like, and the guy got fired, obviously.
He got fired from his Chipotle job or what the fuck ever.
Whataburger. Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things of like, dude, get the fuck out of here. These people are ridiculous. And that's the thing, is that, like, look, dude, I'm not a fucking Trump fan. It's just fucking so goddamn annoying to watch this shit happen on the opposite side and go like, hold on, guys. Like, you guys don't see that y'all are being
the fuck
shitty. Like, y'all are being shittier than the fucking Republicans were with y'all.
Right. And the fucked up part about it is that now people that are I guess come from a lineage of historically just going, I'm going to whip your fucking ass. Everybody knows the legalities of whipping somebody's ass. Yeah. So you have to go through all these bullshit fucking channels. Yeah. And it's like, that's the hardest part for me, is to go like, God damn it, we have to go through all of these horseshit channels when I could have just gone, hey, the cops showed up. Here's the video of this guy stealing my hat and pouring a drink on me. That's assault and theft, brother. So whipped his ass. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, hopefully, and I don't trust cops to, further than I can throw them, but, those days are long gone with the cops now, too, to go, oh, okay. All right. Well, glad you settled it so we don't have to. Be on your way. Have a good night. They don't do that anymore. It's like, well, how can we get this into the legal system? Because if we show that this happens, we get more federal funding through our department and da-da-da-da-da. That's the way the fucking whole thing works now, is based on bureaucracy. It's not based on the fucking common good of the people or, whatever. It's like, even if a cop wants to show up and go like, All right. I looked at the video. I'm sure that still happens. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that still happens, but it's just not the.
It's probably a lot less than it used to.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Definitely, way many percentage points down than what it used to be. Of like, oh, glad you can handle it, so we don't have to fucking deal with this. Off to the next. You know.
No.
The cops aren't doing that. They're like, well, we can have everybody here in the legal system, and that garner. If we show that this, especially if it's a high profile case, with
this will be wonderful
criticism in this country now, I'm sure that we can make this a national news story, which they did inside of 2 fucking minutes, and then they go, you know, Travis County, you know, or whatever, or Orange County, Lake County sheriffs. Responded to somebody that got a MAGA hat stole from them and a drink poured on them. Now it's a national news story, and everybody knows what such and such county's police department is. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry for the rant, but you know,
it's true though. I mean, that's absolutely the way it goes down. It's a little fucked up, man. I mean, it really is, and it sucks. The worst thing about all of it is just that it's a.
Bureaucrats are really running the public opinion and the legal system and the judicial system and Oh, man, that just reminded me of the Dana Carvey bit.
Yeah, the judicial system. Yeah,
you can't say the word judicial without sounding drunk. It's a judicial system. Yeah. It's a judicial system. Anyway, that's one of my favorite bits. But. No, you know, all the way up through the works of, you know, corporatocracy, which is really our, you know, we don't live in a republic or a democracy. We live in a corporatocracy. That's why fucking, you know, Big Pharma and Megacorps and the rest of them get to go in about it. That's where the Republicans and Democrats both have it wrong. Democrats are going, these rich motherfuckers, and Republicans are going, this fucking government. The truth is that both are in cahoots with each other.
Both of them are fucking you equally.
Sitting here like years after, like since before this radio show even started, like 10 years ago, most people got hip to this. 10 years ago, most people got hip to the fact that we live in a corporatocracy where government and megacorps are working in collusion. That nice word that we've come all familiar with. They are working in collusion to fuck us all over, you know? And nobody from either side wants to say anything about the other. It was like, oh, they worked and they got their shit and, you know. But, you know, you talk to a lot of fucking people and you figure out most people know that bankers are fucking liars and cocksuckers. And, you know, they might have their favorite political pundits or whatever, but it's all the same. It's like both sides have it wrong on that. Or it's like, it's both of them, you dick suckers, you know?
Yeah, no, it's been that way for a minute.
Right. And if you're going to continue to vote, fucking make sure nobody's in cahoots with, you know, horse shit. You know, hey, if you take a fucking a donation from these people, I'm out, you know? People don't get it, man. We're fucking 10 years deep on this shit, man. People still
not going away, man.
I know, but it's like, well, something happened about 2014, 2015. I would say probably came into dominance around 2015, which is where they really started to do a good job of pitting us against each other. You had a lot of people, and I told you motherfuckers this would happen. Pull the fucking tape. I got fucking years and years of archives that you can go through. That I said the only way that they're going to be able to fucking break us up, and I'm talking like Ron Paul 2012 style, was if they separate us on an issue-to-issue basis where all the people from the right that care about the same things, quote-unquote, libertarian-esque type people care about are able to be separated from what left-leaning libertarians care about, pretty much, where it was like, no, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right, this is right, this is right. But what are the things that left-leaning and right-leaning people that want freedom disagree on. Oh, the social justice thing or the economics thing, and everybody wants to be smarter than the other one. And universities have fucking killed a lot of that too. It's like you self-important douchebags. You fucking better. We gotta bring down the 1%. I work for a fucking living. I work and I do this show and I take care of my kids and I do all this shit. And it's like, dude, you're at NYU that's paid for by your fucking parents or whatever.
I think Jordan Peterson's got the
future,
best.
motherfucker.
I think Jordan Peterson's got the best answer to all. Like, these people are completely like ignoring the fact that if you are if you're living above the poverty line, you are the 1% of the world, and you sound like a spoiled bitch.
That's what he tells rooms full of college students.
Exactly.
Like, and he goes, beautiful. You made it. What are you bitching about?
Yeah.
Basically, he goes, you made it. You are those people.
Yeah.
Like,
you're that guy. That's who you are. Yeah.
You will eventually become the people that you're rallying against.
Yeah.
I've heard him say that in lectures to his own classes to go, you are the people that you're complaining about. You're just 10 years behind the line right now. He's like, you're university, you're graduate students. You are those fucking people.
Yeah.
Like,
who the fuck you are. Yeah. And if you don't, then what are you doing with your stupid fucking, what are you doing with your degree if you're going to just become a fucking waste?
Right.
It's hilarious, dude. It really is. I mean, that's the thing, is that like people don't realize that the motherfuckers that are out protesting during the middle of the fucking day, those are the privileged people. Like,
right. Like, sorry, me and you got to be at work.
Yeah, I have to be at work, asshole. Yeah.
No, we're just angry white men.
Fucking mad fucking white dude.
The ruling elite class of white men.
Yeah, I like Theo Vaughn's breakdown about it. Is like, dude, you think I'd do all of that shit to you and then move in next door?
Right, exactly.
Like, fuck.
I've heard so many comedians fucking really applaud that fucking bit.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
That white privilege. He goes, still waiting for my white privilege to kick in.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was like, look, man, I've seen it. I saw people in sweaters. It's like, but me, I was 3 tank tops in the winter. You know what I mean? So,
right. That's what I love about Theo Von. He's got the Southern flavor, but he also is very obscure in what he's alluding to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's just the way that guy's fucking mind works.
Yeah.
But it's fucking hilarious and smart at the same time, because you really do have to stretch to make those connections sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's plenty of people that just don't get Theo Von, whether it's because he comes from a region that is, unlike ours, or that they are unable to make those connections about what he's alluding to,
Yeah.
But that's what makes it just so much more smart and funny to me, though. Is drawing those connections, talking about sweaters and shit. He goes, I know people with sweaters,
Yeah,
but in that bit, he also goes, black, white, we had all kinds of people around, but you know what? We were all poor.
Exactly. Oh, man, it's a very good bit. Theo Vaughn's just a good comedian, man. He really is. His delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fucking great.
Yes, sir.
They what do we have here too? Let's do another quick rundown before we catch up with ourselves, and we'll take our second break here. Dude, I came across this shit. Caught good heat on our Facebook page, on the Post Politics Facebook page today. 11 shares off of this just since I posted it this afternoon, from our page. And, lots of people fucking checking this shit out. The article is out of USA Today. Facebook asked users if pedophiles should be able to ask kids for sexual pictures. This is a real thing.
What?
Facebook asked users if pedophiles should be able to ask kids for sexual pictures. My caption on this, when I posted it to our page, was me, make insensitive joke on Facebook, 30-day ban. Facebook, making strides in normalizing and perhaps aiding pedophilia. Garbage planet to live on.
How does that even become a fucking question?
Now, I don't know. Have you checked out any of these TED Talks or anything like that have been going on with this shit?
No.
Well, we covered that article a couple weeks ago about.
I didn't realize that like pedophilia was like.
It's becoming a thing now. Like this is like the new fucking civil rights struggle is to like normalize fucking pedophilia.
Oh, dude,
like,
they're about to. Hey, I'm telling you right now, they're about to have blacks and gays fucking getting real pissed off about them throwing that into a fucking like this is some kind of right they should.
Trust me, man. I don't. You know.
I'm gonna go fucking rally the troops.
Here's the thing, though, is that I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be. This is what splits apart the LGBT community and so on and so forth, or the civil rights community, or the Muslim separates the Muslims and the blacks from the pedophiles, or whatever kind of arena that the pedophiles are trying to move into. That's what's already been done to what we as collective, I hate to use that word, but collectively us with that liberty movement shit, what's been going on with us, that's what's going to eventually happen when they start doing this stuff, you know? And I'm not saying, I'm going to say that there's probably going to be a certain number of people within the LGBT or any other minority group,
there's people of all walks of life that like to fuck kids, and all of them should be fucking killed.
Southern Poverty Law Center will get involved in that whole bit, you know what I'm saying? Probably. Yeah. So all of these people that represent minority groups or undervalued groups of society or whatever, there will be another split, right? And they'll be like, no, we're not having fucking pedophiles as part of the.
We're not doing this. Yeah.
Like, oh, if you advocate for LGBT and they have signed on, that community has signed on for fucking pedophiles, I'm like, fuck you. Yeah. Like, no, fuck you. Like, look, that's like saying like, well, the libertarian community really needs more fucking just an overwhelming amount of pedophiles. Right, an overwhelming amount of pedophiles just happen to identify politically with libertarian values. So, we need to embrace that. And there are sections of libertarians that do that, by the way.
I didn't know that either.
Yes, there are people that have said, like, consent of whatever. Now, like, don't get me wrong. I'll advocate for a fucking 16, 17-year-old person making their own fucking choices while they might be, like, mentally manipulated by fucking people. Yeah. But, like, I'm definitely not going to say, like, okay, you weren't raped. You weren't really coerced into that. You wanted to fuck. We all know fucking high school chicks that used to fuck guys in college. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And that was their gimmick, and they wanted to get the bigger and badder thing out there, and somebody a little bit more on their feet than the high school guys, and they were able to buy liquor for them and smoke them out and do whatever the fuck they stay over at their apartments. Was like you got your own place. We all.
This is so great, yeah. Mommy pays for that too, but yours is bigger, yeah.
But it's like, guess what? You're 16, 17 years old and you're doing that. You know what the fuck you're doing. So don't fucking blame. Don't blame the guy that's trying to fuck you at 16 or 17 years old. You know what you're doing. The guy knows what you're doing. Whatever. I'm talking about like real predatory pedophilia here.
Yeah, and that's absolute. I'm not talking about fucking bullshit.
And I would say the same thing about two 17-year-olds that one date rapes the other or whatever. You know what I mean? Like fuck those people. Those people are unwilling participants. So it's like, fuck the guy, whoever's, preying upon, the weaknesses of other people like that, And it's like, I'm cool doing what I'm doing, but hey, you got a 17-year-old chick that's like, I know you're fucking trouble, but this is what you want out of life. Yeah, I'll usher you in, you know.
No, I mean it really is, dude. Like I think it's fucked up. Like there's not stupid to sit back and act like this is some kind of new call to fucking freedom type of deal. Like, we should be able to fuck kids.
Just the civil. Yeah. It really is. They're promoting it like a civil rights fucking action, you know? And it's like, no. And I'll pull up a clip when we get back, because we haven't even gotten into the article yet. You know, we're just kind of lining it up, and I'm getting irate about it, you know? But I got clips from like 2 or 3 different quote unquote scholars that are talking about normalizing pedophilia like they can't help it. And
no, but here's my thing. I won't even argue that they can't help it. Like, okay, so they can't help it. What the fuck does that change?
Right.
Let's say that mass murderers can't help it.
Can't help it, man.
Hey, dude, they can't help it, dude. They have to kill lots and lots of people.
It doesn't work in my own home where I'm going.
Like, dude, yeah, like,
honey, I've always been an angry person, so I fucking tend to lash out very, not violently, but very aggressively against fucking, you know, if I get to that point. And my wife's got the same thing, you know, where I'm like, you know, that's the way that she is, so I try not to get her to that point. But I'm also going like, if you react in that way, I'm like, I don't ever say like, oh, violence, because I'm at that point. Like, I don't care what it is. It's fucking wrong. Wrong is wrong. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with like, well, I know I have a presupposition to fucking act out aggressively. I know that about myself when I get to that point. But guess what I'm never doing is fucking, you know, beating my wife. I'm never fucking like torturing my kids.
Look, dude, if you, I'm just saying, if they make it to where like people are allowed to fuck kids because they can't help it, then I should be allowed to start fucking shooting people or stealing shit because I can't help it.
All right. Sorry, man.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, just walk into like your local convenience store, grab like fucking 4 packs of cigarettes and walk out. And then when the cop gets there, be like, oh, my bad, dude. I'm a klepto. Can't help it.
I've got a prime example for this.
Keep that because I can't help it.
This weekend, we're going to my mom's house. My daughter's with my mom for the week. And then we'll bring her back with us from her place on Sunday. But then not this weekend, but the next weekend, we're going to my cousin's wedding, and their side of the family is like just uber religious. You know, they're not having any alcohol at this wedding. Okay.
Okay.
Me,
sounds like a wedding I'm not going to. Yeah.
Well, we already signed on, and I just found out about that 2 days ago.
I understand. No, you're also a better man than me. That's fine. I
have an open bar. I understand people that don't have an open bar, but it's like that is all of their friends. They're just uber like.
This is not somebody just not having an open bar. This is somebody being an asshole.
They're like, you know, all of their people are like missionary Christian people that are very involved in the church and all of stuff, and it's
they're
like
probably missionary in more than fucking one way, and that sucks.
Well, it's my on my dad's side. It's my grandmother on my dad's side. Her brother's daughter's daughter.
Okay.
So it's my second cousin, really. Like, but it's just like, no, sorry. Like, this is one of 3 times since my son's been born that we're able to get away with no kids, okay? And I don't care if anybody else doesn't understand that, but it's like, look, I need to smoke. I need to smoke and I need to drink during that time. So it's like, that's what I'm doing. And like, I'm not going to intrude on anybody else's shit, but it's like, if y'all don't have that in there, I've got a car outside that I can go out and smoke behind the car and, bring my flask in with me. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no, you're not dictating that for me. Like, it is about her day, you know, it's her wedding and all that stuff.
Go outside and smoke a cigarette and fucking sip down a fucking
Right. Me and my wife are fucking belligerent people. Like, we're not gonna like get shit housed and then go make an ass of ourselves. But it's like, I'm gonna have a fucking drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a smoke, even if everybody else objects to it. I'm just gonna separate myself to go smoke or go have a drink. You know.
Yeah.
So, but it's like you're dictating that to all these other people, and I don't know, man. You know, it's just like I'm not. Well, what I initially thought about that in reference to the pedophile shit that we're talking about was the Patrice bit where he goes, you know, where he's talking about people who smoke cigarettes, and he's like, look, I'm not a bad person. I just can't keep that, that evil down in me.
Yeah.
You know what like, and I think he's talking about, he says that in reference to like, being kind of, hey, I gotta fuck women, that whole bit that Patrice does, I need women, but he's like, same thing with the cigarette where he's like, I'm not a bad person. I just can't keep that evil, down in me, he goes, it's killing you every single time.
Every time you hit it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's killing me, but it's like, look, man, this is just my evil that I can't keep down, but I'm telling you damn sure you don't want to deal with me when I can't control my fucking evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, this is my way of like controlling my evil. Yeah. And as far as that goes with the pedophile shit.
I was like, yeah, wait, hold on. What are you saying?
No.
What are you saying?
I'm not.
You want him to help control the evil or what?
No. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm pointing out there is everything like that is completely separate because this is your preference for yourself. You're not manipulating. You're not taking advantage of, and you're certainly not preying upon like children. Like I hate when I fucking, we're supposed to go do something with the kids and I got to stand outside the car and be like, look, man, I got to, we can't smoke in here. I'm y'all chill in the car. I know it's 110 degrees outside, but I'm going to, hang outside and smoke a cigarette before we go in and do this thing. Cause it's going to be a while before.
You're so much better of a fucking guy than I am. I'm like, shut up. I wait on you all the time. All right.
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel bad about like, going like, I'm not, you guys know I'm not a bad person. I can't keep this evil down. You know what I mean?
Keep this evil down.
It's like,
yeah, I understand.
It's just the way it is. I'm not a bad person. That's
I can do this. Yeah.
Where he goes, I'm not a bad person, but I got to control this shit.
Yeah. What am I gonna do?
And these people are trying to act like that is their mantra, right? That's the real point that I'm making. These these people that want to normalize pedophilia are like are trying to act like that's the same thing, and it ain't.
It's not at all. Nah, dude. I mean, here's the thing. I think that what they've done. What their mistake that they're making here, and I mean, like, whatever, call it Southern Poverty Law, call it Facebook, call it anybody that's fucking supporting this or even trying to act like it's semi-normalized. The mistake they're making is that, look, there are groups of white people who hate brown people, right? There are groups of brown people that hate white people. There are groups of all of them that dislike fucking gay people, right?
Right.
Out of every single one of those groups that I just mentioned, there are large amounts of people who hate pedophiles.
Right.
So I think like what their mistake is like, no. I don't think you understand. You will literally, all of this division that you guys have been preaching to get like you've been trying to like split people on race and all of this. I tell you, the one thing that everybody will get together on is this pedophile shit ain't happening. Boys ain't doing that.
Well,
and
I'll
you want to see a Nazi and a Black Panther stand next to each other on a topic, I can guarantee you pedophilia is one of them.
Absolutely. And that's another thing is like, don't act. By the way, I've been involved with this shit for a long time, especially like because of my brother and like some of the friends that I've had, especially when I was younger. you see that that's really a thing. Like there is gay people, lesbians and gay dudes do not act like there isn't a certain segment of you're lying to yourselves and you're lying to everybody else if you don't admit that there's a certain segment of your society that acts like fucking Draculas out there, like the blood of young women sustains my life.
Yeah.
That they are totally grooming and or very much go after people that are maybe just of age or possibly maybe a couple years younger, which I won't say is pedophilia, but they really do. There's a huge segment of gay culture that really does usher in the younger people, especially because it was, you know, when, I guess around the time we were coming up, it was still like a thing to be out, you know, at a younger age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, hey, this is the community there, you know, and you had these older people very much grooming and ushering them into this community, mostly through, you know, fingering their boxes and fucking their hiney holes. So, you know, that like there is a segment of that society. Don't act like there isn't. I'm not being homophobic when I say that. Trust me, I've seen it. You know, like these. When I was younger,
there's a segment. Well, I mean, hold on though. There's a segment of like, I mean, to that very nature. The reason that they can't act like there's not is because there's a segment of fucking straight people that fucking.
Absolutely,
it's a fucking like it's just that there's fucking human beings that fucking like fucking kids, and those people did not exist.
No, absolutely.
That's just is.
If you're talking about like the innocence, like the true innocence, I'm not talking about people that are, you know, already past puberty and fucking well into adolescence and maybe, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'll have that whole.
It's still, listen, we here at Post Politics are still not approving you to go fucking, you know, 16-year-olds. But still.
Yeah, don't do that. But if you do and it's consensual, we get it on both parts. I guess.
I get it. Yeah.
As long as you're not too much older than the person.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not our age. Like, we're talking about people that are like, you know, like a 20-year-old fucking a 17-year-old. Like, listen, dude, it might be illegal, but I don't.
Somebody half our age. Like, I couldn't imagine doing that.
Listen, dude, look, I had a conversation with like a 25-year-old girl the other day, and I remember thinking in my head, like, oh, dude, how do people deal with this for like a long, extended period of time? Like, I remember, like, I was in my head, I was like, I couldn't listen to this for that long.
I understand what you're saying, and you're just not saying it right. Is that there's no way that people like us can mentally put up with listening to fucking someone that age in a serious fashion for that
dude,
long.
I gotta. Dude,
in my mid 20s, I already said that when I was still like hovering around like you know, people that were in their late teens and early 20s, you know, even in mid 20s, where it was like, yeah, I might hook up with a girl that's 6 years younger than me or whatever, you know, at that age. But you go like, you are like, I got to a point about 26, 27 years old where I was just like, I don't care how hot you are or how into me you are. Like, I would rather choke you out than fuck you right now. Like, because
like, I don't want to choke you out in the good way. You know what I
mean? Right. You're the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. I don't care how hot you are. I don't want to hear about, I think that's a Demetri Martin joke. I don't care how hot you are. I don't want to hear about your cats anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
nah, dude, I'm telling you right now, man. I got a big props to my little lipstick lesbian coworker, man. She's 23, and I can hold conversations with her for extended period of time. And I think that it really like, and now also she was like a chick that was like real street, right?
That's like, I mean, like those street fucking gay people are very
mature.
Absolutely.
And that's really what it is. Like,
they've seen some things and some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so we like, dude, like me and her can talk, and it's funny because like she's like, yeah, well, like, you know, the reason that I can get along with you is because you don't want to fuck me. You know what I mean? Like with this, like, and I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, because that's been the problem, right? Like it's either like she doesn't want to work with other dudes because the other dudes.
Zach's like, well, I would, but
I mean, I would, but I'm not. I realize that that's off the table, right?
Right. I know that's off the table.
Yeah, man. And like,
So, you know,
well,
just
yeah, but like, well, that's what's funny is that I can say like, I mean, I'll even say that, right? Like, well, yeah, no, because here's the thing is that like, I'm not desperate, so I realize that something's off the table, then I don't even, you know, I'm not pushing for it. You know what I mean?
right.
And it's just one of those things that it's fucking hilarious, dude, to watch how that all breaks down. And you're like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Right? Like, come on, man. Like, dude, it cracks me the fuck up watching, like, and it's funny because now I've gotten to the point to where, like, all right, like, you ever go to a bar, right, and you go with your chick and you realize the bartender kind of likes your chick, so you send her to go get the drink, right? Like, all right, well, baby, you go get us two. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I do it. I'd be like, hey, go grab us 2 drinks.
I know there's another ounce of liquor in that fucking drink that I just got. You know?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I know that he's not going to watch the fucking tip when he pours the shots when you do it. You know what I mean? But if I go up there and get one, I'm getting exactly the mark his fucking manager told him he was supposed to put the fucking shots at. You know what I mean? So you go get them, you know? But it's funny at work, dude. Like, dudes will bring her food. Like, people will... Like, we're in this big fucking warehouse full of fucking people. We're all working. There's grinders going off, welding machines everywhere. All these fucking... There's constantly huge ass pipes being moved everywhere. And every now and then, some dude will walk over with like an energy drink and a bag of chips and be like, "Oh, here, Marino, just, you know." And you're like, and then when they walk off, I'm like, "You're such a bitch," you know what I mean? And she's like, "What?" You know, and she'll look at me like, what did I do, right? And I'm like, no, because I see what you're doing here. You get to play both sides of the aisle, right? Like, you're clearly a lesbian. You know you're a lesbian, right? Like, everybody here knows you're a lesbian, but these dudes are still trying to buy their way into your vagina, and you're just and I was like, no, hold on, I'm not knocking you, right? I was like, take that bag of chips. I was like, hey, take that bag of chips. I'm not fucking with you.
But that's what I mean. There's a difference between being friendly. Like, you're friendly with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then there's like, I don't know. There's something about a shitty part of male ego that is just like, and women have the same thing, by the way. You know, women and men both have the same fucking thing of ego of, I can change him. And men just have that as it relates to lesbians. Women have that as to, if I just draw him in quick enough, he'll become exactly what I want him to be. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, no, it's part of the reason that, like, and I've talked to her about this too. I was like, look, I think there's also an issue though too, that like some of these guys have never had a female friend before too, right?
Sure. I've had plenty.
And so like with me though, the funny thing is, dude, is I will like go, like, if she one day, like, if I tell her like, hey man, I'm gonna go grab a Monster real quick, you want one? Like, yeah. And then I grab her one too, right? And she's like, yeah, I'll get you back tomorrow, right? Like, okay, cool. Well, then the next day will come up and she'll be like, hey, I'm gonna go grab a Monster. And I was like, you better grab me one too, bitch, you owe me, you know? Like, that's not a... Whereas the other dudes are buying shit and it's like, oh, well, I'll cover this. Like, if they go out to lunch, they want to buy her lunch, and I'm like, nah, hey, we're doing this whole even kill thing, right? All right, well, you owe me a fucking Monster. Go get that shit. You know?
What did Paul Mooney say on Ask a Black Dude on Chappelle? Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. Yeah. I'm gonna get canceled for show.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're taking our second break here. Fucking, I don't know. You down to do any overdrive tonight?
I can do a little bit, man. I'm all right with
it. Yeah. We'll play 2 songs now. Maybe take a 1-song break and do a little bit of overdrive tonight. So, stay tuned. We'll be right back, everybody. More Post Politics coming up next. Yippee yo, number 1. Oh.
Now look who creepin', look who crawlin', still ballin' in the mix. It's that 6'6" long dick, slim nigga sticking your chick. Pulling tricks, looking slick at all times when I'm flippin'. Bar sippin', car dippin', Grant Wood grain grippin'. Still tippin' on foes, rappin' hoes, and no packins, blowin' on that endo. GameCube, Nintendo, 5% tint, so you can't see up in my window. These niggas don't understand me, cause I'm boss hog on candy. Top Drop down at Max's with a big Glock 9 handy. Pieced up, creased up, stand dressed to impress. Big boss belt buckle under my Michelin S.O. Gucci shades up on my braids when I escalade. When I'm riding spree wheel, sliding like a escapade. I got it made, the big boss of the North. Ain't shit changed, I still represent Swisher House. Tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos. Tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos. Tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos. Tipping Bobos, and I'm back in Bobos.
Bobos, I'm tipping. Wood grain, I'm gripping. Catch me lane switching with the paint dripping. Turn your neck and your day ain't missing. Me and Slim, we ain't tripping. I'm figure flipping and syrup sipping. Like do or die, I'm pole pimping. Car stop, rims keep spinning. I'm flipping, drop with invisible tops. Hoes bop with my drop, step out. I'm shaking the block with 418s. Candy green with 11 screens. My gasoline always supreme. Got Dodo the brand with a pan of lean. It tastes grinding to be a king. It tastes grinding to be a king. First round drop piece coming. Who is Mike Jones coming? Slab shining with the grilling woman. Slab shining with the grilling woman. I'm Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones, the one and only. You can't clone me. Got a lot of haters and a lot of homies. Some friends and some phony. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes all on me.
Tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos. Tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos. Tipping on Bobos, wrapped in Bobos. Tipping Bobos, and I'm back in Bobos.
What it do is power wild, I'm the people's champ. My chain light up like a lamp, cause now I'm back with the camp. I'm crawling similar to an ant, cause I'm low to the earth. People's feelings get hurt when they figure out what I'm worth. I got 84s poking out at the club, I'm showing out. I'm a player, ain't no doubt. Hoes wanna know what I'm about. Biggest diamonds off in my mouth, princess cuts all in my chain. Wood grain all in my range, dripping stains when I switch lanes. Switch the name, it's still the same. Switch a house or switch a blast. Mike Jones, he running the game and magnificent by this cash. Michael Watts, he made me hot. Hard work took me to the top. G-Dash took me to the lot. He wrote a check and bought a drop. I got the internet going nuts, but T-Ferris got my back, so now I'm holding my nuts. It's power wild, baby. What you know about me? I'm on that 5-9 South Lee, baby. Holla at me.
Rumors spreading round United Texas town about the shack outside the game. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls. I'm racing. Well, here it's fine if you got the time and the chance to get yourself in. And here it's time almost every night. But now I might be mistaken.
All right, everybody, back at Post Politics. Checking you guys out on a Wednesday night. ZZ Top just reminds me of like all of like my dad's friends that like, you know, that my friends, like their kids probably looked at my dad the same way that I looked at their dads, you know, like they're just animals. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
I met ZZ Top on the floor of the Houston Summit at a Rockets.
For sure, dude. How often do you get to meet men with fucking leopard suits and fucking 3-foot beards? Yeah.
For leopard fucking do-rags.
Oh,
fucking,
shit.
Yeah, with fucking 5-foot fucking beards. Yeah.
Let me see if this is what I'm getting at here to fucking really blow this whole pedophile fucking advocacy shit wide open here.
Dude, I just can't believe that that's a thing. That's fucking crazy.
So, yeah, let's see here.
Amid a TEDx talk,
I don't want to hear this fucking... God damn. Okay, here's one.
Controversy erupted recently.
Oh, did it? With your fucking robot fucking voice?
Fucking anonymous voice.
I'm so tired of this. I found it on Facebook, but I didn't, I don't know. I gotta find some of this shit.
So due to YouTube...
Does it?
You're on a fucking hole here, bro.
Well, it's just dog shit that everything that comes up is like, you know, all of these people's takes. Like, I know that that's like a huge thing online now, is like reaction videos and shit like that. It's just garbage, and you can't find any of this stuff that is like broken down. Like, yeah, okay, I'm seeing what I'm supposed to be like seeing. However, this shit isn't broken down like how it was like on Facebook or whatever. You know, it's like these fucking 17-minute long videos and shit like that, you know.
Changeable orientation.
There you go. There's another one. Great. I gotta find this because it's so important to what the fuck I'm trying to... Okay, here's the full video, but goddamn, you know. Let's see. Section.
Let me tell you about Jonas. Jonas is 19 years old. He studies law in Munich. In his spare time, he likes to play soccer. Jonas has a secret which he thinks he cannot share with anyone, not even with his best friend or with his parents. He's just too afraid of anger, rejection, and repulsion. Jonas knows that he has to suppress his sexual drive for his entire life. And he also knows that there will never be a loving and fulfilling partnership that he can enter. Because Jonas is a pedophile. He's only attracted to female children between the ages of 6 and 12 years.
God damn. Ugh.
Dude.
What the fuck? Okay,
Why the fuck? Yeah, like, why are you trying to sell me that, bitch?
These are TED Talks. These are like fucking people that are like doing like the big... Okay, so, okay, here we go. Here's what I was looking for. Okay, here's exact... And it's only a minute and a half long, and so it'll hit all the good spots. But here we go.
But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them. But we are responsible for our actions. And we must make a decision. It is in our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with.
Do we?
We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
Yes, from an emotional point of view, I can kind of understand that you would want to eliminate these people from society. However, it doesn't make sense. And that's because we're talking about biology. We're talking about a sexual orientation, something that we simply cannot change. And on top of that, every day, new people are born with the same difficulty. So it's not practical to eliminate these people from society. They haven't done anything wrong.
What?
All right, hold on. Daddy's standing up for this one.
Yeah, but hold on though. I'm not fucked up with pedophiles that haven't done anything, because those aren't pedophiles. Those are just people who have fucked up thoughts.
Oh no, I'm fucked up with them too.
No, I'm not. I don't look, here's my thing, dude. I don't give a fuck about thought crimes. Like I don't believe that fucking the thoughts that are going on in your head are fucking legitimate fucking things to be mad at people. Like it's my problem is when you try and make those thoughts a reality. Like here's the thing, dude. Like here's my thing. If I have a fucking just a thought in my head that, man, I would really love to kill everybody in this fucking room. All right, that doesn't make me a fucking murderer. So if you have a thought that fucking is way beyond any thought that I could have, but you want to go fuck some kids, well, that's a fucked up thought for you to have. But when you start acting on it, then you're a piece of shit and you should be taken out of society.
Well, let's also say that, like, people like us who do have those thoughts of, like, I would like to kill everybody in this room, from time to time, I don't think pedophiles, as far as a sexual preference is biology, is what these people are talking about. You are attracted to children 6 to 12 years old, you know, in whatever fucked up European accent that fucking is.
No, I mean, regardless of your, like, I will say, like, regardless, like what she's saying, regardless of your emotional thing, it is a sexual preference. It's a fucked up sexual preference that we don't fucking like, and I don't like it. But it is a sexual preference. It just so happens, though, that your sexual preference is poison to the rest of society, so you need to be taken out. It's not. It's not a fucking. You are not saying that I would like to have sex with another, you know, another man and consensually. You're saying I want to go rape children. Like, okay, well then, fuck you. Get out. I don't need you here. If your preference through life is to be a fucking, hey, I think that it would be preferential. Dude, what happens to dudes that only get off to rape? That's a sexual preference too. They only fucking like rape. Okay, well that's a sexual preference. So should we act like they should be allowed to be in society? Fuck no, we shouldn't. It's poison to the other people. What you are talking about, your sexual preference is non-consensual.
Is that keeping that okay? Let's point a frame of reference here. Okay, that I deem equally parallel. Okay. So if you have like a rape fantasy, it's a big thing for women. It's a big thing for guys.
No, but it's not a rape fantasy for it. Those are control fantasies. They're not rape fantasies.
But what I'm saying is that if that's what gets you off, chances are you could probably find a woman that's like, hey, I'm trying to keep the evil down.
No, because here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but here's the thing. You have to consider this shit. Look. That thing that in both men and women, if you have a control fantasy and that's what you like, right? Like prefer to control people or you prefer to be controlled. Those are control fantasies, which means that you want to be controlled by somebody that you're sexually attracted to, or you want to control somebody that you're sexually attracted to. The very definition of rape means that somebody that you do not want fucking you is going to grab you and fuck you. That's a different fucking thing, because a control fantasy is consensually by somebody that you would like to fuck you. You want them to control you, and that is something different. A rape, by its very definition, means that you do not want it. You see what I'm saying?
That's also what I'm saying. Like, okay, for instance, okay, I don't know if I'm painting this in the best way, but like, for instance, Ted Bundy used to make his long-term girlfriend, while they had sex, like kind of tilt her head to the side, try to keep her eyes open for as long as she could, and sort of play dead. Okay.
Okay.
Like that was his fantasy, but that's also what he was doing in real life. He couldn't keep the fucking evil down, right?
Okay.
You know. So I'm saying, like, if you really get turned on by rape, then the best that you could do is fucking take you have a relationship with somebody who
would allow you to act that out.
All the mannerisms that would say, I don't want this, and slap them and maybe scratch your face or whatever the fuck, whatever those people are into. I don't know, because I don't have rape fantasies, but whatever those people are into, get somebody to play along with it. Why? Because it keeps the evil down. It keeps the beast at bay, right? If you never prey upon a child, but indulge in masturbating to child porn, you are still a fucking
hold on, though.
Deserves to be moved from society.
No, because hold on, I agree with you on that. No, I agree with you on that. But hold on, the thing that you're talking about requires that somebody had to do something against their consent in the first place, because pictures of that child had to be taken without their consent because it's a child. So what I am saying is, yes, absolutely. But if you're going with child porn, then right there at the very beginning of that, for that porn to even exist means that somebody did something against somebody's consent. So that's a fucking crime, and you're sick. What I'm saying is that somebody that simply has that drive, that they're simply attracted to fucking children or whatever the fuck, and they never act on it. They never fucking do anything like that. They never fucking look at child porn. They never fucking do it anything. Every now and then they get their girl to wear a fucking schoolgirl fucking outfit or some shit like that. Okay? Those guys, to me, they're not criminal. I don't need to take those people out. That's thought crime bullshit. I don't give a fuck. So he's had some thoughts about kids or whatever the fuck. That's fine. If he never acts on it, I don't give a fuck. But that guy, ultimately, you would never even know that he's a pedophile. Do I think he's a sick fuck? Yes, but if I can't read people's fucking minds, I'll never know that he's one in the first place. What I'm saying is, anybody that fucking, if they get involved in child porn and shit like that, well, right there off the bat, they're already doing something that took non-consent for that to happen, because you had to take pictures of a fucking naked child, and they can't fucking consent to that.
That might even be the majority of pedophilia, is people that have never been able to act upon it, but actually spent a lot of their time fucking masturbating to child pornography. You understand? And for me, no, thank you. No, like
no, I mean, those are sick fucks. Fuck those guys. I mean, there's no way that I'm gonna sit and fucking, I have no fucking defense for those people. However, what I'm saying is, though, is that there are definitely,
you're the reason that has a market, is what I'm saying. Like,
well, yeah, but I mean, no, but I mean, that's the same kind of justification that people give to fucking to heroin and shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, you're the reason that they can sell heroin, so we need to take you out.
I don't do heroin.
I understand that, but I don't want people that are doing heroin to be locked up for it either. Like, that's what I'm saying. You get what I mean? Like, that's where I'm.
Okay, I get that aspect of it. It makes good in a heroin analogy, but I don't know about the kid fucking analogy.
So no, because what I'm saying is like, no, dude, I'm not. I mean, what I'm saying is that, look, dude, it's. If you are fucking, you're violating somebody else's fucking rights, and a child, you're obviously violating. Like, I mean, dude, doing something like that, you should obviously be incarcerated or killed. I would say fucking killed if you're raping children. Without a doubt. There's no reason for, you don't need a life in prison. You don't need a fucking anything like that. Nobody should ever have to fucking, if you get life in prison, then that means that someday that kid that you raped is gonna have to pay for you to survive, and that's fucking bull. And so it's fucked up all around. But
by the way, no, I gotta pause you for that, because it's a perfectly put statement. Okay. You just put that as perfectly. Is that the kid will eventually have to pay for the tax system, especially if they continue to live within that region that they were
have to pay for you to
to continue to survive. And it's like, hey, me and Zach, I do want to say this because, you know, whatever the minor discrepancies we're having about how to deal with these people right now, we are still in business. We haven't had a call yet. We're like Ghostbusters when they first started. Like, it's kind of slow going, but you know, me and Zach's pedophile hitman, we're like Jules and Vincent. You know, for pedophiles.
I want to be Jules if that comes up.
I'm good with that.
All right, dude.
Okay. It's just as long as my fate doesn't end up the same as
say you're gonna get shot on the shitter.
No.
You're coming off the shitter.
Right. Well, it's pedophiles. So, you know, I highly doubt we're dealing with a boxer.
I don't ever want to get killed by a pedophile. That's the mid fuck.
Yeah. You'd be, even if you're like, oh, he was noble for going after a pedophile, but if a pedophile ended up actually taking you out, you'd be like, Trip, I never thought he was
by somebody that fuck kids.
Really never thought he was that much of a bitch, but I guess he was, man. You know, hey, what he did was noble. What he did
was noble, but he couldn't even take out a kid fucker. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, yeah, no,
can't happen. No, I mean, dude, it's a fucking it's a fucked up thing. Like,
much of a bitch, but I guess I was wrong.
I don't ever want somebody fucking incarcerated and or hurt or whatever the fuck for thought crime. Like, hey, listen, dude, if you're a sick fuck that in your head is just absolutely telling you can only get off to children, well then, hey, dude, then you need to be asexual fucking life. Just and my thing with that is that, like, look, dude, somebody who has those sick thoughts but remains fucking asexual his entire life, I have no qualms with that guy. Like, look, dude, like, do I like it? Do I like that you have fucked up thoughts? No, dude, but I can tell you right now, I don't like the thoughts of 85% of the people I come into fucking contact with.
Right, regardless.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, regardless of whether it involves fucking children.
You like shine down? What the fuck?
What the fuck is wrong with you? No, but I mean, that's my thing is, like, I have that whole deal where it's like, I don't want to, I won't violate my own beliefs to fucking take this guy out.
You're right,
you know
right.
Like, when
I'll give you a prime example that probably most people can relate to here. That is of the same type of oddity that you're trying to point out, is that I have an elderly member of my family, like a distant, you know, cousin, that is gay.
Yeah.
He is a strict Catholic also.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this guy before.
Yeah. He knows what he is, and he just never acts upon it. You know, he just that's just his world. You know, where he's like, I'm not gonna be like I'm attracted to men, but I'll never act upon it because you know, that's I don't believe in that. You know, and that's a strong fucking.
Keep that evil down.
It's torturous like that. Like, I couldn't imagine doing it. I mean, the age he is, I get it, and I won't say, you know, but the age.
But that's not that he fucking. It's not like he just now started feeling that way.
Right.
He's just start feeling that way at fucking 60. You know what I mean? That's not the fucking way that shit goes down.
So it's just like, man, you know, I really feel for that, because, like, for me, that's not like a crazy thing. You know, you're not preying upon anybody. You just want happiness in your life, and it's like, but your religious convictions
are to be gay, man. Let the man do his thing.
Your religious convictions are so hardcore that you're going like, no, I've set aside that part of my.
You fucking die and fucking Ganesh is on the other side of the pearly gates. You're gonna be one angry motherfucker.
We'll cross when we get there. You know. I'm
you know what
just
I
saying.
mean? The fucking multi-hand elephants on the other side waiting on you, and you're like, I could have been fucking dudes.
No, nobody knows, you know, until we get to where we're going.
Yeah.
You know, but. I don't know. All right, we're going to hit a final break, and then we'll just ride this out for as long as it lasts on the back end for a little bit of overdrive. But yeah, we'll hit up our final break here and be right back. And yeah, we'll get it done, everybody. So stay tuned. More post politics coming up next. Oh, shit, wrong one. All right, some that I didn't even know. Phoenix TX. Band I came into fucking early 2000s, I think. Phoenix TX, punk band.
Right.
This was their first single.
All right.
And,
I don't even think I know these guys.
Yeah, I when MTV2 first kicked off, by the way, right quick post note, that they played a lot of good stuff that was just coming out because MTV2 at the time was nothing but videos. It was nothing but videos. So, that's where I saw Disturbed for the first time. Like, it was like 2000, like 99, 2000 when MTV2 first came out, when they started to just play nothing but garbage on regular MTV and reality shows and all that shit. MTV2 was really strictly nothing but videos, but this is where I first saw this band. Whatever it was, goddamn, 18 years ago. Holy shit. Or maybe a little bit later than that. 18, 17 years ago or whatever. But another Houston band, Phoenix TX, good punk band. Check them out. And then we'll come back with some of what's this dude's name? Trade of Truth.
Trade of Truth, baby.
Yeah, much love.
I guess we've had our fun, but it seems the fun is over now, and that's alright. It's alright. Time for me to move along, and after all that's said and done, I'll be alright. And it's alright. Tell me something that's sure to break my heart, 'cause everything's my fault. And I know I deserve to be alone, 'cause everything's my fault. Here we go again, unsuccessful to make amends, but that's alright. It's alright. Tried as hard as I can, and I can't seem to understand. No, it's alright. And it's alright. Tell me something that's sure to break my heart, 'cause everything's my fault. And I know that I deserve to be alone, 'cause everything's my I guess it's over now. Your honesty has all run out, but that's alright. And it's alright. I just can't seem to see how the hell you can make believe that it's alright. And it's alright. Tell me something that's sure to break my heart, 'cause everything's my fault. And I know I deserve to be alone, 'cause everything's my fault. Everything's my fault. Everything's my fault. Everything's my fault. Everything's my fault.
Yeah. Know I'm talking about. You ain't shit if you ain't screwed up. For real.
Houston, Texas, home of DJ Screw. You say, know what I'm saying, and what it do.
And if a nigga don't like it, tell the bitches I rip Texas topless in this slab, I come through.
Elbows and foes and expensive clothes. Candy paint our cars, big booties on our hoes.
Got dollars and I'm out there representing the South with the truck up, bitch, swinging through.
I sip codeine at the styrofoam. 2710 is the kind of grind I'm on.
I ain't never love a bitch, so I ride along. Probably why the niggas ain't kinda shine along.
Big dually trucks with the big grills and the Cadillacs with the fifth wheel.
We from the hood and we keep still. If you try to jack, you gon' get killed.
I don't wear my britches tight, I wear them loose. Active athlete for all my footwear, homie, I've got too many shoes.
I'm the man in my city, tell them niggas I won't lose. Force that pad in my nigga, how we still gon' chunk the dudes.
Find me in the hood, in the city that I claim. Moving slow like the music that I bash, screwed up. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Glass underneath, beat, my block, pop, my trunk. Chain full of rocks. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas.
You can find me in Houston, riding in. Candy trim on poking rims with a 10 and a friends. Trade the truth, riding right behind. 2 cups full and I'm on my grind. Talking down, respect my mind. I show you boys how Texas get down. Rolex time, top left back on my nuts cause I got that sack. Papered up to the roof is stacked. Hoes wanna hate but it don't mean jack. Where there's money, that's where I'm at. That Texas grind, that's all I know. Banging, screwing, drinking Big Mo. It's Space City getting that dough, bro.
Outside where the boss ride. Every day I go play outside. Leaving them haters mouth wide. Can't be denied when they see me slide through the hood like I live there. Shit, I got a few cribs there. All my G's still chill there. We barbecuing them ribs there. Smoke blunts and sip punch like it's lunch. Every day we do it. Listening to nothing but Texas music. Perfect match for that good fluid. Find me in the hood of the city. I claim everybody down in H-Town know me, man. It ain't a choice I can't change. I'ma rip the mouth like I gangbang.
Find me in the hood, in the city that I claim. Moving slow like the music that I bash, screwed up. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Glass underneath, beat, my block, pop, my trunk. Chain full of rocks. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas.
I got a badass bitch parked outside, yellow diamond my wrist. If it's dark outside, pull a little bitch and I catch ghosts. Just a little kid from the ghetto. Never had shit, but I got a little bit when I got a couple hits under this belt. So the H up, nigga, I ain't tryna belch and nothing. Ain't got a whole lot of money, but I'm wealthy money. I sip a whole lot of drink, but I'm healthy. Mommy, daddy was cool, but he really can't tell me nothing. Everybody think a nigga lucked up. John Kirko, he done blew up from the H-Town worldwide, nigga, what's up?
I'm from Port Arthur, Texas, let's get this straight off the top. That's where the hustling and the grinding and the hating don't stop. From west side to the east, we out here ducking the cops. And coming down, candy painted on them motherfucking chops. It's the land of the trio, that's where the whole thing came from. And it ain't just a word of where a rapper get his name from. It's a way of life, and we live it to the fullest. For years we represented it with blood, sweat, and bullets. Oh, I'm from Texas.
In the hood, in the city that I claim. Moving slow like the music that I bash, screwed up. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Glass underneath, beat, my block, pop, my trunk. Chain full of rocks. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas. Bitch, I'm from Texas, yeah, bitch, I'm from Texas.
We're back at it. I'm gonna do a little bit of overdrive. We'll get up out of here.
Shit. If we could do the fucking the whole fucking Cat Williams fucking open of
That's my
American Hustle.
Fuck. God damn it, man. Making me. All right. Look. Yeah, keep going.
That's my shit, sir. Turn it off. Turn it off. I fucking love that shit. That was like the best fucking opening fucking.
Oh, it really. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I could fucking watch that that bit over and over. Don't play it again, sir. Play it again. I also could watch that 14-year-old beating the fuck out of him over and over again. That sucks when you when your career dies out because you got beat up by a team.
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Yes, sir.
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Okay, shit. Okay, cut it off. What's going on, Chicago? What's going down? Look at this bitch! Mr. DJ, that's my song too, nigga. That's play the song again for no reason. Let me see it. Shit! Cut it off. That's my shit. That's any nigga that hustle. That's our national anthem right there. Even if your job don't even require no hustling. Even if you a librarian. Just play that shit at the library. See how that shit feel. You just in the library.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Shit! Turn it off, sir. Don't play it again. I'm just saying that's the shit. I'm
The
saying if
best
you went
one
to
is
heaven,
his prize.
they was playing that song. You know it's finna be a party in heaven. You just walk in heaven.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Stop, sir. Don't play it again. I said. Just saying that's my shit. I'm just saying if you went to the grocery store and they was playing that song, you buy everything in that bitch. You know you ain't got but $78. You just in that motherfucker.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Stop, sir. Say it again. Just saying that's my shit. Just saying, fellas, if your relationship ain't working right, stop fucking your woman to slow songs. Fucking to some gangster shit. Just soon as she walk in, just.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling.
She could be like this.
I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. Oh, dude, it's so good, man. I mean, dude, for anybody that's listening to this shit that hasn't fucking seen it, you better go watch that bitch on YouTube. That is so fucking.
Cat Williams Live, the first one that came out in 2004, was my favorite shit because, like, he had this.
The one where he's in the green suit.
No. It's the one before that. It's one that wasn't big, but he did a handful of stuff in the green suit one that he did in the 2004
The green
live.
suit with him, little leprechaun, dude. That was fucking goddamn.
But
I could watch that and American Hustle, dude. Both of them were fucking like.
Dude, Cat Williams Live in Cincinnati in 2004 is the fucking best one. It really is. It's just a perfectly put together hour and 15 minutes. And he, talks about being a single dad, talks about, the whole fucking pimp game and the whole shit or whatever. But he lays it out there fucking perfect.
I think in American Hustle, he actually has his one where he breaks down about the tiger. It's fucking hilarious.
Right. Yeah.
That might be American Hustle. Might have been his next.
I mean, my favorite shit is when he's just talking about his son. Like, I really dig that shit where he goes, he's like, why we fucking roll through McDonald's, fucking order 6 nuggets, don't eat 6, eat 3, throw the other 3 out the window because we don't give a fuck because we got money like that. And he's like,
dude, when he's telling his kid about fucking,
making pimp decisions where he's like, now you can have the new Xbox, or I could take you and we could get what's known as a Nintendo 64 for the same price, and
all
it comes
the games
that other kids have played to make sure it's fun. He goes,
dude, he's like, no, he talks about, he's like, listen, you could get them new Air Jordans, or you could get the Spaldings in every color.
Right. Batmans, the Robins, the Supermans, the Green Lanterns, and fucking, he goes, on your mark, get set, go. Yeah, you're faster than the Batmans. That's all I'm saying. That's all
I'm saying. Yeah. Wow, man. Oh, it's good shit, dude.
It really is. It's really fucking funny, man. And I don't know. I need to revisit that because I ain't watched that one in a long time. I'm surprised I was able to recite all that shit because I ain't watched it in a long time. It's just got so much fucking funny shit across the plane. Like when he goes, I'm at DMX. That nigga is the same size as me. I don't know what that nigga was 6'12". He goes, and he talk like that for real.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, bitch, I want some water and some lemon. Nigga, why are you hollering? We in a restaurant.
We in a restaurant.
Right. That shit, it's so fucking funny, man.
Cat Williams, man, what's funny is that, like, I'm not, and I've said this before, like, I'm not a huge fan of black comedians a lot of the time.
Right.
Cat Williams fucking definitely fucking bridged that.
I could definitely give you much easier a Mount Rushmore of black comics that truly matter and truly speak the shit. I could white comedians because that would just be such an anomaly for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got like Richard Pryor, fucking Chris Rock, Cat Williams, I would say is on there. And, arguably speaking nowadays, Patrice probably.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are probably my top 4.
Yeah, I mean, Patrice has got to be on there. I mean, Cat Williams, I would say Cat Williams and Kevin Hart would probably be a toss-up.
Yeah, see, I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Hart, which is crazy because Kevin Hart, I get it, like, that he...
Kevin Hart happens to be a very, like, positive guy, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But really, that's what kills it for me on him, and that's what sucks. Because I'm just not huge on positive comedy, which is fucking like
he says fucked up shit.
No, he does, but I mean, for the most part, like he is, and there's a lot of that with a lot of the a lot of black comics. It tends to be they're very like a lot of times they're very it's like they've got a shtick and they stick with it, and that's just not my I just don't like comedy most of the time. That's why those guys that you're talking about, Richard Pryor, Chris Rock. Those guys have, and even Cat Williams, like that's one of those things with Cat is that look, dude, you can say what you want to about him, like being the stereotypical black pimp guy, right? But it's like we were just talking about. He talks about everything, and and that's why I like him because it's not just a particular thing that he.
Well, and just to say this right off because it matters, I gotta say this because I respect. You guys know how much we respect stand-up, and I do have to say this with utmost respect, but I'm being very direct here, is that some of you might argue, even if it hadn't been placed in your mind until just right now, Eddie Murphy, which I own both of them on DVD right now, Delirious and Raw. But I'm not going to put Eddie Murphy on my fucking Mount Rushmore. You know why? Because his stand-up is not as notarized as his comedic acting.
Yeah.
And the last stand-up special he had was 31 fucking years ago.
Yeah, that's the only reason that he doesn't make it for me either is because...
I were still pissing our pants at night. When...
Yeah. And they were hilarious, but I mean, the thing was is that's not what he didn't take off because he was a comic. He might have gotten his he got his chops doing stand-up.
He got his foot in the door of his acting career by doing stand-up.
Exactly, and that's kind of my thing with Eddie Murphy is that I don't even think that Eddie Murphy would make the argument.
I'm not gonna say
funny, and dude, Delirious is one of my. I will say, even though he's not on my Mount Rushmore, Delirious is definitely in my top 10 fucking ever. Right, like Delirious is still one of the fucking. If I'm gonna watch, if I'm gonna watch a stand up, Delirious is in my top 10 for sure. But he's just not. I don't even think he would make the argument if it were to come between are you a stand up comic or an actor. I think he would. If he doesn't, then he.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at it, dude. I mean, like it is like you just said. It was 31 years.
Haunted Mansion and Shrek. Come on, Eddie Murphy. I've heard people talk about this that have been close to the situation.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy with his voiceover game is just fucking perfection, right?
Oh,
like that guy has perfected the art of the voiceover. Like he doesn't need to sit in there all day. Like people that have been in those booths with him and watched him do his thing for Donkey or whatever fucking voice he's animating, you know, for one of these kids films, is that he's been able to do that and he's just got it down to a science. And not only that, that makes you fucking buku riches. That's all I know.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely made a lot more money doing acting than he ever would. Comic.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, even then, like Chris Rock, dude. I mean, Chris Rock definitely is a stand-up comic, but he has made a lot more money off of acting.
But also, Chris Rock just came out with a fucking killed it with a brand.
Killed it.
Right. You know.
Yeah. No, I mean, but I think that's the thing, though, too.
Dude, did we not? Oh man, I gotta fucking okay. Pryor, Rock, Chappelle, Patrice. That's my fucking final.
Wow, yeah. No, you're right, dude. Yeah. No, definitely. Cat Williams gets thrown to the side for.
Sorry, you don't make it on Mount Rushmore.
No. Chappelle definitely does. And actually, dude, me and Sam sat up the other night watching old fucking Chappelle show fucking skits, and God, dude.
We did that a couple weeks ago, but yeah.
God, dude, just so fucking good.
We used to play your haters bald because we want to see dumb Rich Voss and Patrice.
Dude, watching fucking we started off with the Black Ku Klux Klansmen, right? Started with that.
Bigsby and all their homies.
Bigsby fucking rolled into
By the way, that was on the first ever episode of
and when I was telling Sam that, I was like, that was the first one. She was like, "Are you serious?" I was like,